So here in the last stage, when you go with the create stage, what exactly it is? In this stage, development of new knowledge is involved. That means now bondage. Now what exactly does bondage is? Talented employees are not only called check whether that person is very much capable of handling all the things. Then job description, what is the job all about? And the last one is job specification, who should get the work done. Now they are representing a company, they always feel that privilege, or they have that privilege over. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to the section 7 of HRM. Now here you will understand the better of what exactly the HRM trends are. So we have a topic for you that is called emerging trends in HRM. Now, human resource management is a recent origin, but you are supposed to know there is always an emerging trend which has been set in HRM. The first one here is talent management. Even in HRM, you have all these emerging trends like talent management, right sizing of workforce, competency mapping. Now here talent management in the sense only then the employees will also feel that the HR department is doing something, because if you pay a person who is knowledgeable, a person who is talented, a person who is doing more work, like the same salary for a person who doesn't have all these qualification, then what happens is even the person who is talented or more efficient, he'll also not work the way he should. So that's why we should always classify these following things, that is talent management, right sizing of workforce, competency mapping, knowledge management. Don't get confused with talent management and knowledge management. Later we have workforce diversity and business process outsourcing, which is also called as BPO. What is it called as? BPO, business process outsourcing. Now I'll be explaining each one of these things in detail, but what exactly you are supposed to do is don't restrict yourself with whatever I tell you. You people need to do more research about what exactly this talent management does, what is the difference between talent management and knowledge management. So the first one here we have is talent management. Now talented employees are those employees who are creative, innovative, skilled, and short in supply in compared to demand. So here you need to understand that they are all what? Creative, innovative, skilled, and short in supply in compared to demand. Now HR department use different strategies. They use different strategies to retain talented employees. Say supposingly a HR manager knows that these are the few people who are really talented, and the thing what is very much in need is you need to always hire talented people, plus you need to retain those talented people in your own company. So the HR department will go with more strategies. Why do they go with more strategies? They just want to hold those talented people. Now here these strategies include, the first one is relationship management. The first one is what? Relationship management. Now HR manager has to focus more on relationship. It is a friendship relation, family oriented relation, and human relation. The first thing is what? The minute they get to know that these people are the talented one, they'll go with one type of relation, that is called relationship management. Next one is job title. Talented employees is not a normal employee, he is called partner. That is what they actually go with, that is they give them few titles. Next is now bondage. Now what exactly does bondage is? Talented employees are not only called partner, but they should be offered profit sharing. You give them more remuneration, you actually maintain them, you retain them. That is what the more important. Employee stock option, now there'll be few of the shares which actually they'll give it to, and then productivity sharing, etc. If you go with all these things, then what happens is they'll be retained in the management itself as well as the company. Empowerment and participation. Normal employee does not participate in top management decisions, but talented employees should be allowed to participate in top management decisions. The minute a person is considered as a talented person or talented employee, now what happens is the first thing we are supposed to always focus is we need to retain that person. How will you retain that person? Give him more salary, he'll definitely retain for some time, but it is not for the long duration. Then you are supposed to give them few titles saying that you are the assistant manager or a manager or a super senior manager. Like that, you are supposed to give them more title. After that, you are supposed to make them feel that even their presence is very important in the decision making. Now what happens is there will be people who always want the fringe benefits, incentives, more responsibility, more powers, more authority. So what happens is they are already retained in the employment. Now what is that you are supposed to do is you are supposed to get more work done from them efficiently and effectively, because you have also given them more scope. Now what is that? They need to do it. Now they need to show their talent, and they are supposed to make more productivity in the company as well as in the entire organization. So the last one here is representing the company. Now HR managers should allow talented employee to represent company in various platforms. See, you have international conference or the national conferences where you are supposed to allow your talented person to represent the company. When they feel that they are representing a company, they always feel that privilege, or they have that privilege over many other employees, and they feel that they are being recognized, considered, and given more remuneration with all the benefits which a top management level will get it. So like that, you can actually retain your talented employees. Next we have is we need to also understand that right sizing of workforce. Now what exactly the workforce is? Because of a talented person, what really happens is, now say example, he is getting 1,20,000 rupees. Now why is that you are paying him 1,20,000 but other employees you are giving 40,000? Because the thing is, like whatever three people can actually do it, this talented person will do it in ease within that. So what happens here, that right size of workforce means the employee and manage a right number of skilled, capable, and knowledgeable human resource to perform different job in organization. That means HR practice like job analysis, job description, and job specifications are very useful in deciding exact size of workforce. Multi-talented and competent employees can reduce the number of jobs. This is the reason you are supposed to always go with what? Multi-talented and competent employees. Now when we go with the right sizing of workforce, now understand, if there is a project which need 10 employees, now you will not deploy all the 10 employees to that particular project. You will actually go with one thing, that is job analysis. What exactly the job is to be done. Then job description. What is the job all about? And the last one is job specification. Who should get the work done? Now when you understand that, when you do the manpower planning, you get to know that there are 10 people who are supposed to be in that particular project so that they can finish it. But later when you go with a proper right sizing of workforce, you feel that if there are 6 talented people who are really efficient, if they can go, they can finish the work in ease. Now what happens is you are saving 4 employees not going to that particular job, and those 4 people can be used somewhere else. That is what the HR manager should always go through. Now the 6 people will be more than enough to actually finish those jobs. The reason here is what? Because they are multi-talented and they are competent employees, and that can reduce the number of jobs. Right sizing reduces the dysfunctional activity of the employees. Now when you go for a right sizing, that is, instead of 10 I'll only deploy 6 people. Now what happened is it reduces the dysfunctional activity. Managers encourage employees to perform different jobs and show their multi-talented qualities. Now even the managers, they don't want the employees to do only one type of a job. They always want the employee to do multi-talented. When they go with multi-talented, what happens is even the manager feels that these people are potential, these people are multi-talented, and these people can actually grow in the organization for more than 5 to 6 years. That means they'll always think about the long-term relationship with those kind of employees who goes with multi-talented or multitasking people. Now these are the things which right sizing of workforce will always be helped, and the manager will be very much happy to work with these people who are really doing good. Next one we have is competency mapping. Now here the entire mapping is all about the competency. We have divided into a few of the points. The first one is competency mapping is important HRM practice of organization. HR manager has to link competences with strategies of the organization. HR manager selects employee based on job and train and develop employees. So here what happens is you are supposed to go with a job and train and develop employees, a person who has already gone to training and employment with the development. HR manager does competency mapping for individuals and organizational growth. HR manager has demonstrated and direct statements approaches for assessment. Now here when you go with the competency mapping, what happens is you take an individual and you design what all he has done, whether he is really competent, has he gone to training and development, what is his productivity, what is this outcome which we actually got it in the organization. Everything designed from the day he stepped in and from the day he has taken the training and development programs. Now here what happens is the HR managers should actually check whether that person is very much capable of handling all the things, or he is just a person for one time he has done something good and later it has declined. So the proper competency mapping will make sure that the each and every employee are scrutinized properly and the results are the efficiency level, that is whether they are capable of it or they are not capable of it. So you will get to know the reality about a person, that whether is multitasking or a person who is specialized only in one field. So here when we go with concept mapping, the competency mapping will be very much clear to understand that what is his strength as well as what is his weakness. The next one we have is knowledge management. Now there is a person called Beckmans, and Beckmans said there are many stages of knowledge management process. The first stage is called identify stage. That is where you will identify a person, then collect stage and select stage. Now in this stage managers have to identify competency which is necessary for organizational success. You need to understand, Frederick Winslow also says that there should be a development of each and every personnel from his or her greatest efficiency. That means what? Here you need to identify who are the people who are really competent. Then second is collect stage, where in this stage managers have to acquire existing knowledge, skills and experience about that particular person. Then you are supposed to go with select stage. In this stage manager has to assess the value of collective knowledge with standard. Now you are supposed to always compare standards and actuals. When you go with standard and actual, you will get to know whether that person is competent or he is not competent. The fourth stage here we have is store and apply stage. Now in this stage nuggets of knowledge classifies them. That is, employees apply knowledge in activities, take decisions, solve problem and exploit opportunity. So a person whoever goes with taking a proper decision and solving the problem, and he need to always exploit the opportunity, those people we consider them as the person who has competency level more than the normal one. The fifth stage is customer acceptance. Now he says that in this stage acceptance of the customer is obtained for a product service developed based on the knowledge, how much he knows and how much he can convince his customer. That is what the knowledge talent is all about. And the last one is create stage. In this stage development of new knowledge is involved. So you are not supposed to repeat whatever you really know about it. You are supposed to always have a different version of it. So it's like the minute somebody's thinking ends, your thinking should start. That is what the knowledge management is all about. So here in the last stage, when you go with the create stage, what exactly it is? In this stage, development of new knowledge is involved. That means always, whenever we go with the knowledge management, we always have one knowledge extra which we are supposed to learn. Workforce diversity. When we go with diversity, you're supposed to understand it's all about the who all are the people who are working for you, whether it is like differentiate between the genders or the religion or caste or subcaste, or people who are say have more experience than the people who are freshers. It's all the diversity of workforce. The first one is people of the organization are differing in terms of ages, gender, language, and culture, etc. Composition of workforce keeps changing. Workforce diversity is greater challenge in front of HR department. The first one here is female employees need more flexible work schedule. Now you need to consider that they are supposed to get more flexibility in the comparison of work schedule. The reason here is they will be a married women and people who are coming from so far places. You are supposed to give transportation as well. If you don't give transportation, you are supposed to check whether the availability of the local or the public transportation is there at particular time. So the HR manager should always consider about this diversification and the diversity of workforce, where he should go with maternity leave and transfer of husband's place. Now here what happens is, India being a male chauvinism country where people are very much dominant, that is, men are very much dominant. Whenever the men get a transfer in some other city or some other state, usually what happens is men always tell the women that you are not supposed to work, you are supposed to quit the work. As a HR manager, the manager should also check these kind of a thing. That is, for a female employee, she need more flexible work schedules, maternity leave, and transfer to husband's place. Then the next one is age factor also creates problem and increases pension cost. The next one is HR manager has to remove all discrimination which based on gender. The last one here is HR manager understands the thought process of young generation, and that is what they are supposed to do. Now here what happens is, the people who are already they are working in a company for 10 years or 15 years. The minute the freshers come, now the freshers will have more talent than the seniors. But what exactly the seniors have is, they have something called the special jewelry, that is called experience. Now the seniors need to give the experience or share the experience to the freshers. Meanwhile, the freshers need to actually update the seniors with their latest technology and latest trend of what human resource management is all about. Now here what happens, there is a gap between the seniors and the freshers, but what the HR manager should do is, he should always understand the enthusiasm and the energy of the freshers, and he should optimally utilize those energy and then make it and convert it into productivity. So these are the workforce diversity which our HR managers go through. And lastly, we have is the BPO, that is business process outsourcing. Whenever you understand BPO, business process outsourcing, it is always a temporary kind of agreement for the workforce. Here, outsourcing offers the potential advantage of specialization. Now, when will we go with outsourcing is when we don't have in-house employees to work on such projects. That is a time where the HR manager feels that we are supposed to outsource few of the employees. When he outsources few of the employees, what happens is, he go for a specialization with the field of what he is concerned with. Then when a firm finds a specialist who can be more efficient in providing a service or components that was previously handled in-house, then both the firm and its suppliers can focus on what they do best, and thus more rapid improvement or improve their performance will actually happen. Much attention had focused on the growing use of temporary workers provided by the staffing industry, but alongside it and much less notice has been the growing human resource business process outsourcing industry, that is called HRBPO, human resourcing business process outsourcing. Here what happens is, What the in-house people cannot actually do it. If we hire people from outsourcing, what happens is people who are specialized in that particular work, we can take their help, as well as we can train the in-house facility where we can improve both the qualities of the in-housing, as well as we can actually use more of outsourcing and get the work done efficiently and effectively. Meanwhile, what used to happen while in the staffing, the temporary workforce which used to come, now we can train our own in-house faculties, in-house people, and they can actually get the work done properly, so that we can also get all the productivity with ease. That is what the HR manager always feel like. That means we will learn from whatever we don't know, and we're gonna teach people who doesn't know anything about the work. So these bases will actually make sure that the business process outsourcing will always be a helping hand for HR. That's the reason now the emerging trend is here, HR with BPO, called as HR BPO. So these are some of the emerging trends of HRM which we have studied. If you have understood it, very good. If not, please do call us. We are always there to help you students. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.